What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to be comparing the Ruger Precision 17 HMR with the Savage B17 with the MDT stock.
Well, here's a little story about two friends that came together, and we started up a YouTube just to talk about whatever. We're on a boat catching big bass and smashing them cats, from review videos to just making you laugh. Cause we got guns, we got knives, we got fishing, we got hunting, we got everything you like, so hit that subscribe button. We're in the outdoors doing things that we love. We're talking guitars, girls, green grass, and guns.
I know the lighting isn't really bright enough to get these. It's a lot of black going on right here, and you can't really tell what's what on camera. She said. Anyway, we're just going to go over the differences between the Savage and the Ruger. We're going to put it on paper, see which one is a better target shooter. But I'm going to start off with the Savage in the MDT frame and just go over some of the components on here. First of all, we have a complete custom one-piece aluminum frame on this one, so we don't have an adjustable length of pole. The only length of pole adjustment that we have is going to be putting shims in here. We will have an adjustment on the cheek rise, but other than that, there's no more adjustment on this one. And when compared to this one, we have a length of pole, we have a cheek rise adjustment on this. So as far as the adjustments on these, the Ruger is really going to have the upper hand on the adjustments. We have two adjustments up here and just one back here. And as far as one thing I want to talk about before we get too far is the bolts and how the bolts action on these. There's nothing wrong with the Savage, but this is just a regular Savage rifle, and I can't tell you the model number of them. It's nothing special, it's just in a special frame. So we're gonna have a $200 off-the-shelf bolt on here. It's not glass, it's not very smooth. You can feel it roughly going into battery. So, you know, it's just a little rough. So if you're taking your time and just easily pushing this bolt in, you'll feel a lot of grit and a lot of friction in that. You know, it does have a nice bolt handle on it, a very tactical bolt handle on it. So you're not going to be missing it. I do like that. But when we come to the Rugers, we were all the way back. I don't know if this is a run-of-the-mill Ruger gun just with a special stock on it, but the bolt action on the Ruger is 1,000 times, I'm not joking, 1,000 times better than the Savage. Andy, have you ever compared these side by side?
Yeah, yours is a little stiffer.
Try them real quick right now, just to...
Give me some, it's like glass.
It is like glass on the Ruger.
Now you get a little grittiness in it.
I can even feel it on the table just rubbing.
What's going to shoot the best? Savage?
I don't know yet. We'll get down there. The Picatinny rail on top on the Ruger. We both have Picatinny rails, the Savage and the Ruger. But one thing that's going through my mind while I'm looking at it is on the Savage, you can take this Picatinny rail off and put a 20 MOA rail on there if you wanted to where the Ruger is just a fixed. Now there are bolts on it, but this is more of a fixed Picatinny rail on here, so I don't think that you're going to be able to take that off and install a plus 20 MOA rail on there. One advantage of the Savage over the Ruger on that. With 17 HMR, I don't think you need a plus MOA rail on any of the 17s. They're going to be shooting flat out to 100. You're going to be shooting ridiculous lengths if you need a plus anything rail on these. You're going to be running out of bullet before you run out of distance on that. The triggers on these, the Savage, it comes in just at 1 pound or just a hair under a pound. Super firm spring on that firing pin as well. The Ruger has a really nice trigger as well. They both have the safety
Accu trigger.
They both have the same sort of Accu trigger on these, although the Savage is the one with the Accu trigger. I don't know what Ruger's is called, but it's the same style of trigger. Both of these have superb triggers on them. And I do believe that both of these triggers are adjustable. Right now the Savage is adjusted all the way down. I don't know where this one landed at. We never adjusted it. It's just a really good trigger, so we left it as it is. The foregrip on both of these, if you're holding your gun, if you're out hunting, the Ruger is going to be a more comfortable gun to hold. It's going to be a more comfortable gun to carry around because it's lighter than the Savage. Because this is a one-piece all aluminum unit, it's got quite a bit of weight to it. Whereas the Ruger, we have the metal foregrip and we have a polymer frame on here, or lower, whatever you want to call it on these. So if you're going to be out walking about, I would go with the Ruger over the Savage. Both of these do have threaded barrels for any suppressors or anything that you want to put on the front of them. Both of these do have rotary style magazines. The Savage B mag, I'm not quite a fan of, as much of a fan of the Ruger. The Ruger magazines in the 1022 and the 17 just seem to perform a lot better than, did I get that backwards? The Ruger magazines on the 1022 and the 17s I think are better magazines than the Savage B mags. These are a little bit rough to run. Loading them is a little bit harder. It's kind of a lot a bit harder than the Rugers. So I like the Ruger magazine over the Savages. The M-lock rails on the Ruger, I like the M-locks on the Ruger better than I do the Savage. There's just a lot more places to put them, and it's a lot thinner of a profile than the Savage. Other than that, both of these are great guns. I would recommend either one of these to go out and buy, actually. But we're going to put them on paper and see how they both stack up side by side. We do have quite an accoutrement of ammo to choose from here. We're all going to split them up and put them on paper down there. See how they run side by side. Also, the safeties on these. The Savage has a safety back here. It's a thumb safety. But in order to get to this safety, you have to come off of the gun to get this onto safety. It's not a simple reach up and click it or something like the Ruger over here. It's got the safety right here, completely where it's supposed to be, ergonomically correct for your thumb to get on. So this one is going to be a lot easier to get the safety on and off. When I first got this, I really didn't like where the safety is. Like, yeah, if you're out hunting, it's just going to be more time, more movement to get that safety on or off. You're going to be scaring your squirrels off or whatever you're shooting after. The price point on these are pretty much the same. I would have to look them up to see exactly where they land, but I'm pretty sure that both of these landed right on the same price point.
Going hot.
Hot.
Catch one of those empty. See, say that I'm empty there, Andy. See where the shoulder.
Okay, so we have some very interesting data here. On each of these, we switched rifles on each shot, fired 5 shots for a fouling shot, and then went 5 shots onto paper. On this side over here, we have the Savage MDT, and on this side, we have the Ruger Precision, of course, in 17. So top right, or top left, we're gonna go with the CCI TNT 17 grain jacketed hollow points. The Ruger put in about a 1-inch group. The Savage put in about a 3/4 inch group. I don't have any measuring tools. These are just roundabout numbers. So the Ruger fell behind on the 17 grain in CCI on this shot here. The top right, we had CCI Game Point 17. Now these are 20 grains jacketed soft points. The Ruger came in at 7/8 of an inch. And as you can see right here, there is one small flyer right here. If you took that flyer away, we'd be running about a 1/2 inch. Same round over here from the Savage. We've got a full 1-inch group over here, rather large. Bottom left, we're going to go with the Hornady VMAX. These right here in 17 grain. And these are red tipped. On the Savage, we had a 1-inch group, and on the Ruger, we had a 3/4 inch group. On the bottom right hands of these targets, we're going to have the Hornady XTP in 20 grain. I believe these are a hollow point. The Ruger put in a 1/2 inch group right here. That's what I would expect from all 17 HMRs. This group right here and this one minus a flyer. This is what you should be expecting from all 17 HMRs. And these are at 50 yards. So anyway, 1/2 inch for the Ruger, and the Savage put in a respectable 3/4 inch. So both of these are great rifles to get. They're both going to be shooting good. Most of it's just going to be dependent on the day and your shooting on how well these are going to shoot. But we do have these on a rest. We had the Eagle Eye on it, and in my professional, I'm a certified YouTube shooting professional.
That's true.
Self-certified.
We got the data to prove it.
Self-certified with data. So with all of that data, the Ruger did shoot better by almost 1 inch. And that's over a combination of 5, 10, 15, 20 rounds a piece. I'm pretty satisfied with the Savage, but I'm really satisfied with the Ruger. If I was to choose one, it would obviously be the Ruger just because of the grouping. What good is a good rifle if it doesn't really group very good? Not very good. Not much point in it. But if you're out to put damage on animals, precision is what's king. You don't want to be hurting animals out there. You don't want to be wounding them. You want to get a good kill shot on them. So as far as today goes, if someone was to say, hey, which one would you pick today? It would be the Ruger. I've had days where the Savage would outshoot this though. Like when I first got it, it shot really, really good on the first couple of days. Not that it went downhill after that, because I've had some ups and downs, just depending on the day. But today, and on this testing, the Ruger is going to beat out the Savage by far.
We got the data to prove it.
So anyway, that was just a quick comparison over the Ruger and the Savage on which one you should get. I wouldn't necessarily let these targets sway you one way or the other, but it is a data point in there for that. So anyways, guys, I hope that this video brought you some information on which one you should choose over the Ruger or the Savage. I hope that information helped you out some way or another. If it did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. I'm out.
Data.
Data. Was Data a female in a show?
Dido?
Well, no, I think she was a computer. Her name was Data. Super old. That might be back to, it was a real life show, but it wasn't the Jetsons, but it was kind of like, oh, come on. It had that little robot that walked around, and it wasn't R2-D2.
Star Trek?
No.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I just dream of fishing while I'm going through my workday. I listen to my boss, though he's driving me berserk. Damn it, I can't take much more because my brain is really hurting. And now the bank is always calling and I don't know what to do. And I haven't bought a crankbait since like 1992.